Team Canada wins! 2-1 to the Swiss women's hockey team. First off, Andrea Brandley is going to be an impact goaltender for the future of this sport, certainly in the future of the PWHL, and could be a difference maker in the Olympics. Well, it could be the reason why, already the reason why there was a major upset with Finland losing, almost the reason why Canada ended up playing for bronze rather than gold. It was, okay, play-wise, it wasn't close. But score-wise, it was disgustingly close, even though if you look at the shots, 46-8, we outshot them by almost 40. You should be winning that by minimum by 4 goals. Minimum by 4. It should never be a 1-goal game. And the only reason it really was is Andrea Brandley. That's the only reason this game was close. But this is how upsets happen. I hope Team Canada was taking notes, because this is what we will need against the United States of America. We will need that kind of a performance, coupled with, maybe like one specific player who could score 2 or 3 goals to turn the tide. And to be honest, it feels like it would be that level of an upset facing the United States. As a fan, whenever you get to the final round, the championship, no matter what, you will feel nerves. Whenever you get to elimination, you feel nerves. As of making this video, the men's national team are facing Czechia in the quarterfinals tomorrow. I feel nerves. I'm quite confident that Canada's going to win. I'm actually still of the belief that they are the team to beat, that Canada is the best team in this tournament, that the team that's most likely to take home gold is Team Canada. But I feel nerves. I felt nerves even before the Germany and Swiss games. I was more than confident we would beat Germany. When Switzerland beat Finland, I was especially confident. I thought for sure, okay. I thought to myself, their goalie's going to be a problem, but as long as we score like 2, we're fine, right? It would have been nice to get more than 2, and I'll get to that. But I had nerves. I dread the gold medal game. As a fan, you do not always dread games. Everyone who's rooting for the U.S., all the Americans, they're feeling nerves right now. They can act like they aren't. They can say that, oh no, we're going to beat you by 5. There's always that element. Even if you know, again, as a Canadian, as somebody who roots for Team Canada, before every game when you face, even against France, there's a little bit. Now, obviously, when we faced France, those nerves were very small. They were very minuscule. They were like, it's never going to happen. But there's that small voice that goes, well, what if? But that's regular. Those are just regular nerves. As you face tougher opponents, those nerves get stronger. And I can tell you this as somebody who's been on the spectrum. I'm a Niners fan. Yeah. And before every single epic playoff win and painful playoff and Super Bowl loss, I felt nerves. Even in games where I was confident that we would win, I felt those nerves. This year, when they faced the Eagles, I was like, nah, the Eagles are way overrated. I felt nerves. I felt nerves the whole game. I felt nerves before the game. That's natural. The Charge, every single playoff game the Charge had. Oh my gosh, my nerves were up to here. Both game 4s, my nerves were shot. The whole game, my nerves were shot. One was one of the best experiences I've had as a sports fan. The other was one of the worst heartbreaks I've had as a sports fan, as a Red Blacks fan. Every playoff and Grey Cup. The nerves. But that is because of the hope. Dread is when you aren't really really sure how you're going to win. It feels inevitable. It feels like you are climbing an unscalable mountain that you would need a genuine, bona fide miracle. I talk about statement wins a lot, especially this Olympics. This was a statement win in the opposite direction. So, beating Finland 5-0 was supposed to be a statement win, right? We got smacked by the US. They're so much better than us. Like, it's not even a tournament. The US, that was a statement win that they are the team to beat, the best team in this tournament by a relatively wide margin, and that this is not going to be a competition this year. This is the opposite. The statement we just made is that all the critics are 100% right. 100% right that at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, this isn't the best team in the world. The Swiss nearly beat us. I don't care how good their goaltender is. We're Team Canada. We are a machine. We should never be winning 2-1 unless it's the United States of America. And, moreover, I think everyone is confident that the U.S. wins this game by 5. The U.S. wins this game by 5. The game is done. Perfect example. Sweden had their best period of hockey in the second period against the United States. A period where the United States ended the game. The third period wasn't even worth watching. That's how over the game was. The United States are 31-1. Not in wins, in goals. All tournament, they have allowed 1 goal. They've scored 31. All tournament, Canada scored 10 less while allowing 6 more. This is not the old battles. The old Canada-US. This is David versus Mega Goliath. David versus Army of Goliath. This isn't gonna be close unless we have a miracle. Unless something wakes us up or puts them to sleep. Because 2-1, 2 goals on 46 shots against the Swiss, which again, yes, Brandley played amazing. Her defense didn't. This is without a robust defensive system. This is without some of the best defenders in the world that we scored 2 goals on 46 shots. Brandley played amazing and Frankel won't. Phillips won't. Frankel doesn't have to play. Phillips could lace him up. You mean to tell me that Frankel or Phillips can't play at that same level as Brandley? You mean to tell me that that's not going to happen in the gold medal game with everything on the line, that they won't put a performance just like this one? Difference is we won't have 46 shots to score 2 goals. We will probably have maybe 26 if we're lucky. And more than that, 2 goals has never, at any point in this tournament, come even close to being enough against the United States. Their minimum is 5. They've scored 5 or more goals every single game. Their worst game was the first game of the tournament in a 5-1 win against the Czechs. A 4-goal win has been, to date, their worst performance going into the gold medal game. And somehow we need to completely rewrite the story. And before you give me that, it's the gold medal game, it's different. And look, I will subscribe to that theory later in this video. Let me be clear. I did my research. I look up the Olympic of old, the other Olympic games. There's never been a time where either the US or Canada win by 5 against the other in the round robin and don't go on to win the gold. It doesn't happen. Because you don't win by 5 in the round robin. Now, yes, there are some reasons to maybe be hopeful. Reason number 1, we do have the GOAT. The first period, we only have 4 shots in the first 10, but then as it goes on, we take a penalty and have an amazing penalty kill. And from there, the game is fully Canada. And shots are like 12-1 at the end of the first. We control play, and early in the second period, we continue to control play, and Marie-Philippe Poulin scores the record-setting goal. 19 career goals in the Olympics. And a few minutes later, Poulin again to make the marker 20. If there's any player in the world that could single-handedly will Canada to a gold medal, it is Poulin. And everyone said, look, Poulin wasn't in the game, but she's not worth 5 goals. And she, she's not. But maybe Team Canada plays a little bit better, a little bit smarter. Instead of being down 5-0, maybe we could be down 2 or 3-0. Poulin is the type of player that can overcome that deficit, not just by scoring, but by motivation. She was laboring all game. She was so seriously injured. She has no quit in her. None! In the second period, we take 2 penalties. Back-to-back, Poulin takes 1. It's almost 5. Thankfully, it's 2. Both of them are great kills. Canada gets a power play. Again, flurry of chances. No goals. And this is where I say, look, the Swiss defenders were generally like pylons to a lot of our players. There's not a single pylon. I know that sounds rude, but I'm talking comparatively. When you put Poulin, Stacey, Jenner, when you take a player like that, Fillier, when you take a player like that, and you put them against somebody who's on the 4th line for the Swiss national team, I'm sorry, but there's a clear talent gap. That doesn't exist for the United States. There's no player who you can just handily burn. I don't care how good you are. I don't care who you are. The United States team is a deep, threatening, scary roster. You need to earn every single inch against them. They give up nothing. Nothing. You can't outwork them. You can't outskill them. You can't outskate them. But what can you do? When you can't outplay them, well, 1, you can try to outscore them. That is what matters most. And I said you can't outwill them, but you can't outwill them in like the sense of they're young, they're fast, but you can outwill them in the sense of this is our sport. This is Team Canada. Team Canada won't lose. But I feel like for Canadians, we are on a hope and a prayer that, hey, there's going to be some magic because it's the gold medal game, right? It's going to be different. There's going to be something in the air that only us Canadians can tap into in a gold medal game in hockey. That's just not true. Because early in the third, the Swiss scored to make it 2-1. And while we shut them down the rest of the game, while they only got 4 shots in the third period, while, yes, they take a late penalty so we can easily close the book on this semifinal, sending us back to the gold medal game, this is far from the convincing win that I think we would have needed to have some confidence going up against the U.S. Now, again, maybe there's some hope in that hopefully winning by such a close margin lights a fire under our butts and says that was way too close. This is Team Canada. We should never be winning by that small of a margin against Team Switzerland, no matter how good their goalie is. The United States is laughing at us. We got to prove them wrong. Hopefully that happens. But honestly, I think the biggest thing we can celebrate is this. We're still the only team to make it to every single gold medal game in the Olympics in women's hockey. 98, 02, 06, 10, 14, 18, 22, 26. Every single time. Canada's been there. United States didn't get that. There's one time where they didn't get that. And that was in 06 in Italy. And now they are back in Italy. And sure does feel like they are the team of destiny right now. But you can just hope that you can rewrite destiny. But my nerves aren't shot. Okay? I'm dreading this game. I am dreading it with all my life. I'm hoping for a miracle. Because this is not a game that gives you confidence that we can beat the United States of America. That is a machine. But hey, you play the game for a reason. I'm going to watch. I'm not going to just write this off as a win for the U.S. And I'm going to hold on hope that, hey, Canada can win it. Now, I wouldn't be watching, I wouldn't be cheering if I didn't think that there was a chance that Canada could win. But this sure paints a bleak picture. Hopefully they can prove all the critics wrong. And as always, go Canada, go.